Okay, without further ado, this is supplier preferencing model. As you can see here, we have two axes only, simple, relative value of business versus attractiveness of account. In here, relative value of business, as the name sounds, it means the business value you provide to your supplier. Straightforward, isn't it? So if we are to apply Pareto rules, or better known as 80-20, then most supplier would have only a few large accounts, just like when you are doing your spend analysis, right? Okay, for example, if your supplier annual turnover, sales volume is $500,000, and your business is only $10,000, then your value of business to them is relatively low, isn't it? So you will be at here. But says your business to them is about $100,000 as compared to their revenue of $500,000. That makes up of 20%, which you would have a high value of business to them. That is pretty straightforward. Then attractiveness of the account. Now, don't be confused. Value of business versus attractiveness of account is actually not really correlated. Whether you have a high business volume to your supplier, it doesn't mean your account is attractive to them. Because attractiveness, it is more like an intangible dimension. If your account has very high sales, very high business value, but you give them very low profit margin, that means your account would be less attractive, isn't it? So another example says your business is very high, but there's a lot of pain to handle your account. You always have different demand to them. Your operation people, they are not giving their best collaboration method. That would be painful for them to handle, isn't it? That means your account could be less attractive to them as well. So remember, high business volume doesn't mean you have high attractiveness. So I hope you are clear with both axes here. You can send me some feedback so I know. Right. I assume all of you know because I see some people sending yes. Right. Next. So what is this matrix about? It's actually just 4 things. We have nuisance, exploitable, development, and core category. Just 4 categories. So today we will tell you what is this categories about and what can we do about that. Nuisance category simply means your business value is very low. Your account is not attractive to them at all. And the same concept applied there. So says core category, it means your business value is relatively high business volume as compared to their turnover, and your business is very attractive to them. So what is this? How do suppliers see you as a customer begins here. If they see you as nuisance customer, this is what they do. They will give you very low attention and they do not mind losing this business. Why? Because your business is small and your account is not attractive at all. I don't have a lot of profit margin and you don't give me a lot of volume. So why should I care? Isn't it? So this is the worst category for you to be at, because your supplier do not care about you and they do not mind losing your business at all. This is the worst thing ever. And next we have exploitable. Right. Exploitable means your business value is high, you give them a lot of business, but your account is not attractive at all. In these cases, you would often see that your supplier quote you premium price, and their sales and marketing team would always ask to increase their pricing. Their focus is always on, I need more profit margin, give me more. So the key thing about your supplier sales and marketing team would probably quote you very high price, but as a customer yourself, you may not realize that and you keep giving them business. So their key goal is to get most margin as possible here. They do afraid losing you as a customer, even though your account is not that attractive, but your business value is large, right? They still need the volume to keep them survive. So these two categories really is not too good for you as a buyer or as a customer today. You do not have a lot of leverage to talk to your supplier at all. Now, next category is development. This is better now. Even though your business volume is small, you don't give them a lot of business. Say your project value is $1 million a year, but you only give them 10%, $100,000. They still love you. Isn't it nice? That is because your account is attractive. So this way, your supplier would nurture you. They would treat you like God. They will literally do anything at all to get business. They wanted to expand the business with you, and they would always seek opportunities. What can I do? What can I do to get more businesses? What can I do to make you happy as a buyer? So this is the good thing as a buyer for us. And last but not least, we have core customers. Congratulations, because this is the best of the best. Your customer treats you even better. They pamper you. They wanted to maintain the long-term relationship with you. But one thing to be careful here is that they would also defend vigorously. Why do they need to defend, right? You have had good margin. You have had high business value. So think about it. Why do they need to defend about their status? You have something in your mind? Yes, because your volume is so big and your margin is so handsome to them. How can they risk it, right? So they would always defend their business to get the most out of it. So these are the 4 categories in supplier preferencing model. You would want to be at these 2 categories the most. So some people ask, how do I know if I fall into which category? Of course, we will share with you what are the symptoms. But I guess the most straightforward thing, even without talking to your supplier, is still a little bit of market intelligence as we shared in previous webinars. Relative value of business. How can you check that? It is easy, right? Whenever you do your tender, I believe at some point of time you would ask for financial information. That is the time you know what is your supplier turnover, what is the volume like. Once you know all this business volume for your supplier, you can compare. Does your project create value to your supplier? Would they see you as a core customer or development or nuisance? Say you found out that your project value is probably the highest ever, the largest tender they would be able to participate, and the return would be good for your supplier, then you would want to place here. Your supplier would treat you here. It's either exploitable or core. So what makes you into a core customer or exploitable is definitely none other than first thing first, your pricing, the profit margin. So now, even more questions, right? How do we know supplier profit margin? I don't work with them. How can I know? If I know, I could be a master already, right? Well, now, you can actually check this using total cost of ownership model. Total cost of ownership is a very comprehensive thing. I won't be able to share everything with you today about TCO, but this is an idea. Once you have built your TCO model, you would be able to roughly estimate what is the margin you left for your supplier. It could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 15. It really depends on the project you are looking at. So other than profit, how do we know we are attractive to them or not? I'm sure some of you are mumbling some answer now. You can type it to me as well. But I'll just give you the answer right here since we have to control the timing, right? Sorry, I was looking at my clock. So other than pricing, of course, it would be the relationship, isn't it? If You as a buyer is such a pain of an ass. Do you think they want to deal with you? Probably not. I can go to your competitor. So those are some of the key things that you will be able to find and able to position where are you now in the business.